I'm Craig Kenneth, a relationship coach and a psychotherapist. Every relationship is different and every breakup is different. Work with me and you'll get professional help on your situation. And if you're in no contact, focused on personal growth, my workbook series, The Knowledge, will help you make changes like you've never made before. Available now at AskCraig.net. Hi there, I'm Coach Craig Kenneth.
And I'm Coach Victoria.
And today we're going to be talking about how to thrive after a breakup. Sounds impossible? It is.
No.
See you next video?
It's not.
It's not, but it is challenging.
It is. That it is.
And I have a really important point that I want to start with for this. Because I find that one of the biggest struggles you guys have is staying consistently motivated throughout the breakup process. And the thing that throws you guys off the most is what's going on with your ex.
Yeah.
So, my point is that you want to stay as motivated as you can regardless of what's going on with your ex. Even if your ex has picked up and moved across the country and got into a relationship and married, you still want to have the level of motivation of, you know what? I am still going to do my best to be the best version of myself. Because I see day in and day out that you guys will lose motivation based on what's going on with your ex. They're happy on Instagram. They're posting they're in a relationship on Facebook.
Yeah.
I'm never going to hear from them again. I get it. I understand. But if you come from the place of no matter what's going on with them, you're going to stay motivated, it's going to increase the chances that you can reattract them if things turn around, or it's going to blow away the new people that you're dating.
Exactly. And it is really hard to maintain that motivation. Many of you are just thinking, I just want to survive, much less thrive at this moment. And research shows that rejection actually highlights the part of the brain when you experience physical pain. It's that same area. So this breakup, you might also be experiencing physical symptoms that are keeping you from feeling motivated.
Yeah.
Diarrhea.
Yeah.
Sorry to point you out on that one all the time. But
Guilty!
it could also be the opposite. It could be restricting your eating. It can be lack of sleep. It could be a wide variety of things.
Depression.
Yeah.
Depression is a big one. And we understand that it is a struggle, but we're trying to do our best on our end to try and keep you motivated regardless of what's going on to help you thrive.
Exactly. And Margaret always says grief has a beginning, a middle, and an end. So there is an end and there is a life after that. And what's actually really surprising is that after the worst of the breakup, that initial shock subsides, a lot of people find a great motivation after the breakup.
Yeah.
And this is kind of ironic because you would think that separating from somebody that you love and care about could devastate you, and it does. But a lot of people experience the opposite. So there's a term called post-traumatic growth, which is used in the mental health literature to describe how people actually thrive and have a lot of positive changes in their life after a traumatic experience. So today we're going to talk about post-breakup growth. So this is the breakup side of that thriving and being able to have that resiliency after the breakup.
Yeah. And that's one of my favorite things about the breakup is the level of motivation. Because let's face it, if you showed my channel to a lot of your friends and family that aren't going through a difficult time with their relationships, they may say, oh, that's kind of interesting, and watch a little bit of it here and there. Yet, if you show it to them after a breakup, they're going to consume it and watch all 900 videos in a week and a half.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly.
Because we, for some reason, are truly determined to change our life afterwards. And I know that feeling. That's why I know all the stuff that I know now, is because the level of pain that I went through is kind of equivalent to the level of growth where I'm at now.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm so passionate about this, is because I had so much pain about it. And that's why I share my experiences with you guys. So I want you to know I've been there. And the things that we're suggesting and telling you to do are things that I did myself, or even better, things that I've learned since then to better myself as a coach and to help you guys grow even more than I was able to when I was figuring it out blindly.
Yeah, yeah. And that's what's really paradoxical about it, is that you can learn a lot from the breakup and that you can be a totally changed person on the other side for the better. So even though you were the one who was dumped, that independence and that autonomy, that separation can actually be beneficial for you. So you can start to enjoy the things that you couldn't enjoy in the relationship. I know for a lot of you, a lot of things took the back burner and your relationship was the priority.
Yeah.
So friendships that could have been family members, that could have been all different types of relationships that you had, or maybe your career choices.
Think about your new relationship with your toilet. It's changed considerably since the breakup. You're spending a lot more time together, bonding.
My point here is that a lot of things that didn't take up your attention before can now be revisited. And I know some of you who have been in a relationship for a very long time are like, I don't even remember who I was before the relationship, because we've built so much together and our entire lives have been so intertwined that it's hard to differentiate who you are. But a part of it is also finding yourself again. And that's part of the exciting part.
Yeah. It really does make you take stock in what's important to you and what's not important to you. And I mean, a lot of times you're sitting there thinking, boy, I was focused on all these other things that weren't important, and now I've lost my relationship. I wish I had my relationship back instead of all these other things.
Yeah.
Well, this is an opportunity for you to realize that now and repair that, or do things different if you get back with your ex, or if you date somebody new.
Exactly. And another thing is that a lot of people find new hobbies after the breakup. So maybe it's not even all about revisiting who you were and the things that you ignored, but also seeing what you can control now and what you can do now. And a good example of this is actually dance. So for those of you who don't know, I love to dance. I love salsa, bachata. And a thing about the dance community is that there are a lot of divorcees in the dance community, a lot of people who have gone through very difficult times, very difficult breakups. And they find this hobby that they can connect with other people using their bodies, using emotion and expression through dance. And it's a very social activity. So for a lot of people, you might think, oh, well, all my friends are either married or have kids or are too busy to spend time with me, and now I'm finding myself isolated. There are hobbies that are highly social. So seek those out.
And there are a lot of different things now, like apps, like the Meetup app, where you can go and do a sporting activity. Like maybe you want to get into frolf, you know, which is frisbee golf.
Is that like LARPing? Like live action role play?
Maybe the frolfs do that. I don't know.
Maybe there's a frolf LARP group that you can find.
If that's what you're into, it might help you get through the breakup.
It might.
It's better than the toilet.
Exactly. But the important thing here is that you don't isolate yourself. And like I mentioned again, many of you might have isolated yourself over the years. You might have focused on the relationship instead of others. You might have lost people in your lives. There's a large number of reasons as to why you might find yourself alone and feeling lonely. So the more you can do to try to connect with people, and I know we're reaching, you know, more people are getting vaccinated. Now the pandemic is kind of switching gears, regulations are easing. So things are going to change in the upcoming months and the next year. So do keep that in mind in how you interact with people and your ability to.
One of the biggest things that I have found to be enlightening is to truly understand your attachment issues. And I found a lot of personal insight into myself, into the relationships of my family, taking a look at how my family was growing up, my parents' relationships, why they didn't work, you know, and obviously in the breakups that you're experiencing, that when you really learn about attachment and the relationship between your ability to attach and the mental health of your family and you look close at early childhood, you can really get in there and work through past traumas, issues. There's a good chance that that's the reason you're struggling with anxiety and depression throughout your life is because of your early attachment wounds.
Yeah, and I'm always surprised with how much you all know about mental health. I know on some of the calls you all will say what you've researched, the different therapists out there, the different books that you're reading on relationship skills and attachment. And really, the breakup has become a motivator for not only becoming more social or maybe dating again, but also your own mental health. And that's something that's going to help you throughout your life.
Yeah, absolutely. Breakups absolutely will change your life. And the more that you do to change it and the more consistent you are with your motivation, the more likely you're going to see changes and the sooner you're going to see changes. You know, do the knowledge workbooks 30 minutes a day. Do the creative healing course 30 minutes a day consistently, you know, because at the end of the week, if you've done it 7 days, that's going to be a lot further along than if you've done it twice. And if your ex comes back in 3 months or 5 months, you're going to be in a much better position to truly show all of these changes and how much more confident you are and all these new skills that you have. That's going to blow them away. And you know what? If they don't come back, the new people that meet you are going to be blown away.
Exactly. And as we always say, if you can find a good therapist in your area, talk to them, see if you can meet with them. A big thing that happens also that I notice in people is that they go to therapy initially for a breakup and then they find out all of these other underlying issues that they never actually saw or were blind to before. So therapy can be really enlightening for you all, and also take baby steps. For some of you watching this, you might be like, whoa, 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 like LARPing, like going out.
Fralf, what is this channel about?
Exactly. You might just be overwhelmed and thinking, I can barely get out of bed. And you know what? That's okay too. Take the steps that you can, even if it means, okay, today I took a shower. That's what I could do. Today I went for a walk around my neighborhood. That's what I could do. Start small. And the more that you can do to help yourself, the better. But don't feel the pressure of having to thrive after a breakup. It's okay to be doing terrible too, and it's quite normal. So have compassion for yourself too. I know we can be a little bit like, woo, about all these things, but take a breather at times.
I get really excited about the Fralf.
Me too.
And LARPing. But yeah, you know, we're here to coach you along. So we like to take the position of trying to get you motivated and keep you motivated despite those down days, you know, and despite the times where you feel like it's not going to get better or you're never going to have a chance with your ex again. We want to try and keep you at a higher level of motivation even when you don't feel it, because that can pay off for you. You know, see a therapist. Get evaluated by a psychiatrist if you're feeling that anxious or depressed. Even if you know, do something or take something in the short term, it can help you with a very difficult, painful thing just temporarily.
Exactly. You have to look at all of your options. And another thing, just before we end, that we were discussing earlier is that even though emotions can be very draining and very exhausting, emotions can also be very energy producing and exhilarating. So we were both sharing stories earlier before this filming of how we would get these moments of complete adrenaline, and it's because your brain is obsessing over the breakup, and you have all of this separation anxiety energy, and a lot of people work out a lot, get that energy through exercise. I know you were telling me how much you would run after the breakups. So
running and LARPing and frolfing.
Yeah. So if there are ways to get that energy out, whether it is working out, whatever it is, do what works for you.
Yeah. For me, I used to like to go for walks at night and just kind of look at the stars and try and put things in perspective. Depending upon your neighborhood, I may not recommend doing that.
Yeah, true.
Safety.
Yeah.
I lived in a nice neighborhood at the time, so I could do that. I'd run at night. That really helped me a lot, burn off a lot of energy, and you know, I would kind of get in the zone.
Yeah.
And sometimes you'd even get like a runner's high when you're running for a while.
Yeah, so you might experience both. You might experience really high highs of energy when you're thinking and obsessing, and then depression when you're feeling the sadness of it.
Yeah.
So that could be part of your experience.
All of that is going to happen. It's going to feel like a roller coaster for you. We understand. Do your best. If there are days where you struggle, that's okay. If there are days that you're feeling great, that's great too. That's normal. But it's a process. Taking the position of, I want to use this breakup to change my life. I did it. And I really believe that you all can do that. Every single one of you is capable of doing that. And to what extent you want to change or feel that you need to change is on you. But we're here to help guide you along the way. If you want to talk with me personally, you can always get a coaching with me at askcraig.net. I do email coaching and I do Skype. Coach Margaret is, of course, available for Skype coaching. And Coach Victoria will be coaching with us eventually.
I look forward to talking to you guys.
Until then, she'll be training with us and sitting in a lot of the coaching calls with Margaret.
Yep.
But that's it for this video. I'm Coach Craig Kenneth.
I'm Coach Victoria.
And we will frolic with you soon. To get my help personally, go to askcraig.net and click on Schedule Coaching and choose the option that works best for you. I do email coaching or Skype. To schedule a coaching with Margaret, click on Margaret on the top of the page and order a Skype with her. For the Knowledge Creative Healing course, click on the link at the top of the page and click Get Started Now.